What's up, guys? It's Maverick here with another episode of Fire Force. So, where we left off last episode, Shinra was just about to receive some grace from the Lady in Black, although only for 1 second, but hey, for Shinra that's quite the long time since he does move at super speeds when he wants to, right? So, I'm hoping this episode's gonna be pretty high and we can see Shinra taking down a demon, probably with the help of others as well. Let's see, however, if he can top Ogun's performance from last episode though, because that was pretty damn awesome. So, without further ado, let's just get right into it. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Normally I make fun of her speaking like this, but I'm gonna have to give her a break. She's been powering this oasis for like the past 100, 200 years or something, or so. She's probably pretty exhausted. Well, lady, it's a good thing that Shinra is able to move really fast. I feel like that actually, when Shinra has that grin on his face, right? It's hard to tell whether he's nervous or actually, smirking or grinning or whatnot. But that one, I felt that was definitely more of a confident smirk than a nervous smile. This opening is so, how should I say? The opening is a lie. We haven't really seen them actually have all the other, all the other Fire Force squadrons and whatnot. I mean, sure, they like the current composition is with all the, with some other Fire Force squadrons as well, but not with their captains and whatnot. Then again, we're not even to the halfway point, so we'll see. If you consider season 1, though, they actually changed the opening midway. Anyways, one thing at a time. Let's get this demon finished first. And then maybe we can have a nice little chat with the demon, with the Lady in Black. Really? I think there's quite the big difference here. Kanojo? Ooh. I mean, when you're using terms like granting you grace and whatnot. Okay, hold that thought. Yeah. Super speeds. Okay, let's see how long 1 second is going to be stretched out. Alright. Wonky physics, but... Huh. So this demon... Huh. And here I thought demons... were from the other world. Well, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who loves the Great Cataclysm, dude. Okay, so I guess this is the Lady in Black. Wait, or is this the Evangelist? Ah, this is the Evangelist. Now, isn't that ironic? The Evangelist is dressed in all white, and the Lady in Black is dressed in black. Okay, so that's how he turned into... Huh. So even she's still using those kinds of bugs. Wow. Huh. I mean, we knew that they can turn into infernos from that, but turning into demons? Lato. Alright, so how long was that? Like, what, 2 minutes? Oh. being burned. So not only... Huh. Dang. Wait, what? But that still means you were brought here, right? You weren't originally of this world. Hmm. True. The Tower of Babylon. Or, I guess, more accurately, the Tower of Babel. So is Adala supposed to be like the god of this, or a deity, basically? But still, the evangelist calls herself the evangelist, right? She's not. Hmm. Yeah, this lady is like on brink of collapse due to exhaustion. Wow. So if what you're saying is true, she's not actually in there powering it through her own flames, but actually being burned alive. I mean, I kind of understand how. This is pretty fun. Ah, so she's the one inside Amaterasu? Alright. Well. Yeah, why would I think the more pressing question is why would pi have anything to do with this? Just because it's like a circle all around? Alright, so are we heading back now? And here I was thinking they might finally have a nice chat with the lady in black. Just don't go around stealing potatoes again. Oh. Oh, almost completely forgot about that. Oh. Yeah, hello. Do you guys have to be naked? And we are back in Tokyo. Okay, so even with all that, it actually just works as a normal power plant, like burning water to create energy, steam. Yeah, so this was indeed the prologue to the Bible. of the Holy Soul Temple. Then Raffles went search for the unsullied flame. He found it! Yay! I mean, technically, if you just called a flame an Adola burst, it still kind of works. Right? If you consider, like, the pillars to be human flames, human torches. And we are back. I think that much is pretty obvious. So are we gonna investigate the temple next? That's gonna be fun. Alright, there might be a little bit more after this. I'm not quite sure. If there is, I'll see you in this guys in a sec. If not, well, I'll see you guys in the review part. Okay, so once again, we got a ton of information, although none of that is really all that usable in terms of trying to formulate a new sort of theory or a new sort of prediction as to how the story will go, or what exactly we are facing up against, right? So, well, first of all, Shinra indeed got the grace, got the blessing, and was able to defeat the demon. Hooray, go him! Although, I still have to say, Ogun's performance last episode seemed a bit more hype to me, right? Even though, yeah, sure, it's cool that you travel so fast that you even go back into the past or something like that. Like, don't question it, right? But still, the actual, in terms of the actual animations and whatnot, you know, the eye candy stuff, I have to go with Ogun there. So for this episode, it's really much more the sense where, oh hey, we learned a lot more about the Evangelist, we learned a lot more about Amaterasu and Tabernacle, and you know, all the Adola bursts and Adolas and the pillars and whatnot, at least somewhat. So for instance, we do know that the Evangelist did come from another, I guess another dimension or whatever you want to call it, and is basically the one calling the shots behind all this, right? And I do find it kind of funny that she is dressed in all white, whereas the lady in black is dressed in all black. You know, they seem to be doing this, I guess the author is really purposefully trying to make this sort of contrast between, like, one side, for instance, we assume the lady in black is supposed to be on the side of our protagonist, right? And including Shinra himself, you know, there's a lot of times when they actually display tendencies which seem a little bit more unsettling, or more evil-like, if you will, whereas the bad guys, or the antagonists of the series, seem to have cooler abilities, especially for instance the Ashen Knights and whatnot. Well, I guess it's 50-50, but anyways, I do like the fact that we're not using the sort of aesthetics and whatnot in order to determine who was actually on the good side, who was on the bad side, and whatnot. And this series is clearly equal opportunity, right? You got the heroes, you got Shinra and whatnot, also having some facial problems as well, controlling their facial muscles, and then you also have the bad guys or antagonists doing some pretty cool things as well. So I do like that. Instead of making it always, oh, the evil guys have to look evil and then look ugly and so on and so forth, and the good guys all look all heroic and whatnot. Yeah, but that was kind of a tangent, right? So that's that. There are still a lot of questions stemming from this episode. For instance, the Lady in Black. Okay, so you said that you were basically a human who was turned into this on a whim by the evangelist, but you said that you came here from the evangelist world, right? So what does that mean? You say you're a human, you say you're not different from Shinra and the others, and yet you come from another world. The implications of that, does that mean that originally I was thinking, okay, so maybe the Adola and whatnot, so that might be like another alternate dimension, and in that dimension it might be sort of like I guess sort of like hell in a sense, although not the biblical definition of it, but basically a place where these demons exist and whatnot, or people like the evangelist. But apparently not so. So does that mean that actually they are coming from like literally alternate dimensions that are the same as we know right here? There's also humans living on that side as well. There's an Earth, and practicing the same kind of culture and technology and whatnot. And it's just a simple case of the evangelist going from world to world, from dimension to dimension. And doing all this. Is that what's being implied here? Unfortunately, the Lady in Black went back to resting, went back to sleep before we got a chance to learn a little bit more about this. But that is definitely intriguing, right? The fact that she says she's a human and yet she comes from another world, because that might be key in figuring out who exactly the evangelist is as well. So we got that. And then also in terms of the powering the Amaterasu, powering the Tabernacle. So if what I'm getting here is correct, because originally I was thinking, okay, I guess that kind of makes sense. So these pillars, they obviously have this Adola flames, Adola bursts and whatnot. So they might be using their flames to power the power plant, the system, or whatnot. But then it also mentions that they have to be burned by this. I guess maybe it's a mix of these two, in that so the pillars themselves are Dolobers, so they do practice a form of self-immolation, but that also means that they are being burned themselves as well. I guess maybe it's that kind of mix there. And then seeing the first pillar being submerged in liquids and whatnot, that really got me thinking whether or not, potentially the Amaterasu, the Tabernacle, is operating on the exact same principles as the power plants of today, right? So you literally, like nuclear power plants or coal or oil power plants, you're literally just burning water, turning it into steam, and then using that to generate electricity and whatnot. I don't think it's quite that simple, but it kind of makes sense in a way if you think about it, because, of the liquids and whatnot, you got the smokestacks as well to dispel excess steam and other particles and whatnot. So potentially, you could be looking at these Adola bursts, these Adola thingamajigs, as basically like little nuclear reactors in of themselves, right? So giving off a ton of energy and whatnot, which I guess kind of makes sense as well. You guys remember last episode I was talking about how, hey, this, if I just purely throw some things out there, it could be a case where this was an engineered event to cause this sort of great cataclysm, and then to basically reset humanity, right? So that's one type of theory, or here maybe who knows? Maybe what they're trying to do is literally just search for a form of perpetual energy, a search for perpetual power in order to save humankind, right? Like, I guess that could also potentially be one of the reasonings for doing all this. Otherwise, the entire I'm the evangelist, I want to burn the entire world, I want to destroy the entire world. And sure, we could also go with a simple reason like that, but we would need to have like reasoning behind this. Like, why does she want to do this? Sort of like what Shinra asked. If the evangelist was so powerful, guiding this world and whatnot, why do you suddenly want to destroy it, right? But then again, that's also a similar concept in a lot of these kinds of things as well. The gods that created this world suddenly turned their backs to this world and are now, now want to destroy it or whatnot. It happens a lot in more, I guess, sci-fi sort of settings, fantastical kind of settings. So, we could be viewing something as straightforward as that as well. But, that's probably something that's not going to be unexplained anytime soon. One place to start, though, might be from the Holy Soul Temple, right? So, I knew it there has to be something funny with the temple. I mean, ever since the very first episode when they showed how, okay, yeah, this world has this Holy Soul Temple, this sort of religion and whatnot, you instantly know that that's bad news, right? So we'll see about all this. Potentially, they might not actually be thinking that they are bad, but they might be manipulated or something like that. So we will have to see in regards to that as well. But definitely, I'm glad that we are progressing forward with the actual storyline here, instead of just focusing on Shinra and his family matters, if you will. So finally we can get a more of a holistic view of the overall setting of this world. And that's great, because I keep on saying, one of the things that keeps bringing me back to Fire Force is because of the aesthetics, the setting of it. It's a world that I think is really cool, and I want to learn more about it. So, that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, as usual, and I'll see you guys next week as well. Stay tuned. Bye-bye.